Islam, all. Princeanaelbey here. Um, I've been observing you all here lately. I'm speaking right now specifically to the Asiatics. I know you call yourselves black. Um, you were taught better. Um, you just refuse to do better. I taught you that black is not a nationality. I taught you that black, the definition of black in science means death. And you still insist on calling yourselves black people. Well, right now you're coming into the home stretch of a presidential election. Well, the one thing that I truly endeavored to instill in you is thinking. Thinking. Where this presidential election is concerned, now I have made no secret of the fact that I am a fan of what Donald Trump has done. Um, the Democrats, they have imploded. They have imploded. And the current scandal surrounding the former vice president and candidate for president, you and I know that if it were you and I, we would already be in custody of the U.S. Marshals, wouldn't we? And while you are going to be convinced that there is one law for everybody, and the Democrats are showing you that isn't so. But I want you to think, because we're going to go to President Trump's plan. Think, people. Now, he says something about some 300 million new jobs. Doing what? Think, people. Doing what? There won't be any warehouse jobs. And a lot of jobs that people were permanently laid off from, they won't be coming back. If you're in the service industry, if you worked at a restaurant, that's it for you. That's it for you. Your restaurant's not coming back. Only about bars and restaurants, a lot of them will never be coming back. And neither will that job that you were told is coming. First of all, you want to seize power. And the way to do that is by making it known that whoever does not address the Asiatic contract with America, I know you all call yourselves black. I'm going to tell you this for the last time too, since you insist on calling yourselves black. He who is without a nationality is going to be subject to all mistreatments and abuses that the citizens care to bestow on him. Now that is from your ancestral ancient law of nations, because they wrote it. Now, I don't know who you think you are to disagree with our ancestors who created civilization, to want black to be how you are known around the world. But all that aside, You are being distracted. You're being distracted by a lot of political hoopla. You are being inundated with in your face injustices. And too many of you, out of the habits of lemmings, you're going to vote Democratic. And you know that you will be voting for evil. Because, see, what it comes down to is it's the age-old battle. Light against the darkness. That's all this is. The distractions are having you see and believe everything that you see and hear. Well, there's an ancient Moorish philosophy that I've been imparting to the brothers and sisters for years. And it is, sometimes what you're looking at ain't what you're seeing. You see? Because when you come up on the scene, you got thoughts, and your thoughts can be all out of context. Sometimes what you're looking at ain't what you're seeing. What is viewed as a platinum plan is not truly a plan at all for black people. You see, President Trump knows that a lot of those service jobs aren't coming back. The car manufacturing job, they're not going to be making cars here like they did in Detroit's heyday. He knows this. And it must be stopped when you read or see the words minorities, people of color. Get off of that. Get off of that. You want to be black? Make it all about black. And I'm going to tell you something. For those of you who have wasted your lives doing nothing, learning nothing, you got an opportunity here, because with all of the artificial intelligence and all of the automation that is going on right now as we speak, there is no place in this world for you. Now, what I would suggest that you Asiatics begin doing, learn coding. Learn coding. I don't suppose many of you have seen the automated warehouses where cats used to go every day to work when they leave the house in the morning. Now they got little orange robots with packages on the tops of them. And they go to this particular section on the floor, the lid pops up, packages flipped over in there. There's no more need for you in a warehouse. There's no more need for you. Robots make cars. You don't have a whole lot of expert welders coming out of the auto manufacturing industry these days. Learn coding. Learn coding. Drop everything else. If you're in college, you drop out. Because whatever degree you're wasting money on, or that you will owe money for, it'll be worthless. It'll be worthless by next year. Now, because I'm in the habit of telling you all what is going to happen before it does, I'm giving you this. I'm giving you this. Learn coding. Whatever else you're doing, you better drop it right now and learn coding. And where President Trump talks of the 500,000 new black businesses, what are the businesses going to be in? You see, what you must do at the beginning of the year, before all of this went down, I told you this was coming. and you did nothing. I really don't understand you people. I really don't. I don't understand. You refuse to think. However, thinking is your friend. Thinking is your friend. And what I didn't read, you see, that is the power of mastering that fourth degree language. Because they've been enslaving you for 500 years using language. Using language. And the language of that plan, it has holes in it. You see, because if you, as a black America and black United States, if you as black people, you reject anything that has minorities in it or people of color, you don't allow it in there. Otherwise, you still falling for the okie doke. It must be specifically for, and that which should come on the heels of that should be legislation. You all need to get busy with what's going on around you instead of what's going on with you. Because you see, this world does not have time for your personality. It only has time for immediate change right now. And this being the age of Aquarius, again, the age of Aquarius is the age in which all that was hidden shall now be revealed. A lot of things are going to come out. A lot of things are going to come out. But especially to my friends of Trump, Trump supporters, Trump voters, etc. If you are black, think. Go over that plan again. And wherever you see minorities or people of color, you put black in there, because the whole thing must be about you. If it is to have any teeth and gain any traction, it must be about you and you alone, not people of color, not minorities, because we all know what minorities mean. I mean, those of us who saw this come into existence. Minorities means amalgamated Moorish women. That is what minorities mean, because she is who benefits from all programs and benefits that are targeted at minorities. You think it's you. No, it's her. It's her. And anything that you see, learn language, please. Please. Please, people, learn language. Become adept in the fourth degree. Because the fourth degree, it is your stepping stone to the fifth degree. That's law. The sixth degree is government. And if you do not know language, you cannot know law. And if you do not know law, you will never learn government. These things must be done if change is to really take place. Think. Do not accept this as it is written. It is written so as to perform a lot of iffy moves and to set up excuses and explanations for why this isn't done and that isn't done after you gave us our vote. That is why at the beginning of the year, I tried so hard and desperately to get you, to get your representatives to bring out the original and organic Constitution for the United States. You've been living your lives by the 1871 Constitution of the United States. That is not the historical document, because that document, it has what, like 27 amendments? And the original and organic Constitution for the United States has 13 amendments. The last amendment in there was Abraham Lincoln's 13th Amendment, and it had 20 sections. That's how I can tell the 1871 Constitution, that's the fraud. And that's the one they've got you living by. And if you read it, you ain't got no rights in that thing. You ain't got no rights in there. You are guaranteed nothing in it. If you were, they wouldn't have to use it as a bulletin board and tack stuff onto it. Now, would they? If it was correct in the first place. But you wouldn't do that. Now look where they have you. You could have prevented this back in January. You could have prevented this. Well, now you're here. Think about that platinum plan. It does not make provisions for very many things that are specifically targeted at you. And everything in a plan for black people, there should be no other verbiage in there other than this is for black people. This will be done for black people. Legislation will follow. These are the things that you permit in a contract. Now, I taught you there are 3 elements to a contract: offer, acceptance, and lawful consideration. That's generally money. Okay? This is what they have offered you. Reject it. Because if you accept it, then what you get will be that lawful consideration. And if it's nothing, guess why? Guess why you got nothing? It's not because you didn't read it. You didn't read it. I told you, sometimes what you're looking at ain't what you're seeing. And in President Donald Trump's platinum plan, there's a whole lot that's missing. There is nothing in it about punishing the police retroactively. Nothing. Because these are men and women who have murdered and went on to live a rich, full life. If there is nothing about police punishment, why would you okay something like that? You know they dropped Chauvin's charge down to what, 3rd-degree murder? In a minute, he'll be walking out of there with his coat over his arm. You got to have something you can actually put your hands around. Do not accept this plan. It is not complete. It is not complete. Unless every word in it pertains to you as a specific people, and there is legislation to follow. And they go into effect immediately. You got nothing. He gave you nothing. And so I'm going to reserve my vote until I see something, because I don't see anything. And those of you who are hammering that young brother Ice Cube, y'all need to sit down. Because for as little as you think about it, there are people in the world who have a much better grasp of things than you do. And that brother is one of those people. You didn't have the stones to do what he did in order to formulate a contract for the powers that be. And you got the nerve to criticize. It's not bad enough that somebody else is doing your work. All you can do is sit back and criticize. Well, you know what? What's that term that they like to use for y'all? Yeah, you a white supremacist. You see, because you're helping them. You sit down. If you're not gonna stand shoulder to shoulder with that young man, you sit down and you shut your mouth because you got nothing to say. You didn't do it. And because your masters don't like it, you want the world to know just how ignorant you are. You leave that boy alone. James Brown said it best. I think it was 1968. I could be wrong. Might have been 1970. James Brown said, "Get out the way and let a man come in." Princeanaelbey. I'll be back. I don't know if you all are going to see Satan again, but you take care of one another, you love one another, and you protect one another. I bid you peace.